We did have another announcement today, and Spurs made a statement saying, "We are delighted to welcome Johnny Heitinga to the club as first-team assistant coach, joining Thomas Frank's coaching staff." So he comes off the back of a pretty much failed attempt to be the head manager or the head coach at Ajax. He was appointed in the summer. He was relieved of his duties in November. But that comes off the back of quite a successful assistant spell at Liverpool, where he was assistant to Arne Slot last season in their title-winning team. So,
and things have fallen apart since.
Yeah, exactly. So it was all Johnny Heitinga. He was the glue that kept everything together.
On a serious note, though, obviously he's come in to improve or if you read when you read the statement.
Shall we get through the statement?
Yeah, read the statement first. I'll make my point.
So the statement says, "We are delighted to welcome John Heitinga to the club as first-team assistant coach, joining Thomas Frank's coaching staff. John began his coaching career in 2016 following retirement as a player working with Ajax youth teams, and took interim charge of the Dutch Giants senior side in January 2023 for the remainder of the season. Ahead of the following campaign, he joined West Ham as first-team assistant before being appointed as Liverpool's assistant coach in July 2024, helping Liverpool to the Premier League title last term. Most recently, he departed Merseyside and returned to Ajax to become head coach in May 2025. As a player, John has more than 400 club appearances for Ajax, Atleti Madrid, Everton, Fulham and Hertha Berlin. In addition, the former centre-back earned 87 caps for the Netherlands and represented the country at numerous major tournaments. Thomas Frank says John is a great addition to our coaching staff. His ability, personality and character will add huge value both on and off the pitch. He had an impressive playing career across Europe, including 5 years in the Premier League and with the Dutch national team. As a former defender, that will be one of his main responsibilities on the training pitch, and he brings great coaching and management experience from all levels of the game, which will really help us moving forward." Obviously, we know Matt Wells, that was his kind of role on the training pitch, focusing on the defence. So to me, pretty much just seems like a like-for-like replacement.
Yeah, and the point I was going to make is if he's coming in to help the defensive side, I don't know if that's part of his remit at Liverpool, but we have definitely seen that's been their major problem, isn't it, this season? Defensively, they've gotten far worse. Now, is that because Heitinga's left and that's, something that they've really struggled with? Maybe his replacement has struggled to get to grips with. Maybe they would have the same struggles defensively if Heitinga was here as well, but we'll never know. But I think the fact of the matter is, last season, they were much better defensively than they are this season, despite, albeit there's been lots and lots of changes. He's been quite highly rated. I've seen a lot of Liverpool fans wanting him back after he left Ajax and wanted Slot to get him back into the coaching fold at Anfield, and they seem not happy that he's gone to Tottenham. A lot of people also saying, is it significant that he's been pictured with Frank and Frank interviewed him? Is this a show of faith with Frank giving him an assistant and letting him pick the guy? I don't know if there's anything to read into that. People seem to be reading stuff into the fact that he's been pictured with Frank in the announcement. It's not just him by himself. A lot of people some other people suggesting, could he be geared up for an interim job here if Frank was to go? There's a lot of conspiracies going on there. I just think it's a good appointment. Clearly he's a talented coach who's done quite well as an assistant in other places. Look, so unfortunately he didn't work at Ajax. Doesn't mean he's a bad coach or assistant coach, which is where he's done well. So welcome him to the club, and hopefully he improves things.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah, we will see. But look, he's had good roles at West Ham and at Liverpool in a similar vein to what he's done or what he's going to be doing here. So, yeah, welcome to the club, Johnny Heitinga. He comes in as first-team assistant coach. But, yeah, it's basically Matt Wells' replacement. That's what we're talking about here.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on and let's talk transfers, because I know all of you want to speak about transfers right now. And the first player we're going to speak about is the one and only Adam Wharton, as Dean Jones says that Tottenham are making discreet inquiries into signing Crystal Palace ace Adam Wharton. After launching initial inquiries, Spurs are now ascertaining how viable it is to truly sign Wharton in one of the next 2 windows. So I'm guessing this and next summer.
I've heard these inquiries are so discreet, even Palace and Wharton don't know about them. That's what I've heard. Yeah, look. We've said it a million times. I love Wharton. I think it would be perfect for us. I just think we've missed a boat on him. We had a chance to get him at Blackburn. We didn't pull the trigger. We waited or whatever. Palace jumped the gun. He is now a 100 million plus player, and all the big clubs are looking at him. Probably going to go away with England in the summer. I just can't see it happening unless Anderson goes to City. Liverpool gets someone else, and maybe we have a shot. But I just find it hard to believe.
Yeah, where do you think he ends up?
I think Liverpool and City get one of him and Anderson. To be honest, I'm not sure which one goes where.
Yeah.
Although all the rumours at the moment that City are getting Anderson, so maybe he goes to Liverpool. Then again, Liverpool have spent a hell of a lot of money, so whether they have another 100 million spend, but maybe they do.
Yeah, you just don't know how things are going to work out, especially like 6 months prior. Like we all thought Guehi was nailed on to go to Liverpool. Now it looks like he might be going to Man City. So I mean, yeah, you just
Arsenal.
or Arsenal. You just never know. But I think obviously whoever gets Adam Wharton is going to be a very lucky club. There are kind of worries about his injury record because hasn't been able to have a long period of sustained amount of football injury free, but he's still a very young player. And I think if Spurs want to make a statement signing and want to push the boat out and break our transfer record, he's probably the guy to do it for.
Yeah, for sure. I would have him in a heartbeat. He's so good for us, but he'd be brilliant for us. But yeah, I find it hard to believe Tottenham are going to actually get him through the door.
I wouldn't be surprised if we try, but I would be surprised if we actually get him.
Deadline day bid rejected. Sounds like Tottenham.
The Mark Guehi situation all over again. But a player that could be a realistic target for Tottenham is Middlesbrough's Hayden Hackney, a player that we have been linked to in the past, having a very good season with Middlesbrough this year. They are flying high, second in the Championship. Dean Jones again says that both Tottenham and Manchester United hold an interest in Hayden Hackney. Borough have a £30 million valuation on Hackney, and he has now been heavily scouted across this season by many Premier League clubs. Should any club pay £30 million price tag, it will be the biggest sale in Borough's history, but they are reluctant to sell and do not believe anyone will meet his valuation this window. Beyond this season, there is, however, an acceptance that they would need to sell in the summer if they do not win promotion this season. So, I mean, I think we've spoken about him for many years now, Hayden Hackney. I think since he was 20, maybe the last 3 years, maybe the last 2 years, I can't remember off the top of my head. But he seems to be improving every year, Hayden Hackney, and I think this year might be his best season to date, to be honest.
Yeah, and he seems to be the kind of midfielder we want as well. Someone who progresses the ball, who's very comfortable on the ball. Off the back of what we just spoke about, missing out on Wharton when he was at a similar stage for cheaper money, do we want to do the same with Hackney? Now, why hasn't anyone gone for Hackney over the last couple of years? There's been a lot of talk about him, but no one's pulled the trigger. Wharton, it seemed as though he broke on the scene and was very quickly going to the Premier League. So clearly people are concerned about him. Is there something that teams and scouting departments are not sure about him? That's the question, because no one seems to be pulling the trigger.
Yeah, I'm not sure what it is, to be honest. I think in previous years, I think he's, maybe a bit too over the top in his aggressive nature on the pitch. Maybe picks up a tad too many bookings and has that bit of a streak in his game. But I think as the years progress, he's got so much better as, controlling games and his progressive passing and all those kind of metrics that Spurs are desperate for. Well,
I think for that price, well, then again, it's not actually far off what we've paid for Gallagher. So I was going to say it's not a bad price, but Gallagher, if we can get a player like Gallagher for a little bit more, then maybe there is better value out there. But I think if we're going to take a punt, I think I'm not against it. Maybe if we can get him for a bit less than the asking price. How much is Wharton went for like 20 million, didn't he?
Yeah, around about.
Price.
But he went at like 19.
Yeah. I think a lot of people will probably be complaining unproven Championship, all this kind of stuff. But it's one of those, a bit like Wharton, you kind of don't know until he's in the Premier League whether he's good enough.
Yeah. And then again, you run the risk if he stays there and Middlesbrough get promoted and he has a stunning season in the Premier League, then automatically his price tag probably doubles.
Or just a lower Premier League tag, get him like Palace, like got Wharton for, and all of a sudden he then shoots up. So that's the risk you run. Yeah, that's what scouting department's for. That's what all the data analysis and whatever is for. For some reason, they decided Wharton wasn't worth it. Are they going to decide that Hackney is? We'll see.
And last but not least, Spurs have been linked to another goalkeeper, and he goes by the name of, where is it? Mile Svilar of Roma.
Svilar.
Do you know much about him?
I actually do. Not tons, but I remember he made his debut for Benfica when he was, I believe, 15 or 16.
15?
And he was very young. And I remember this quite clearly. They were playing Man United on his debut. He was 16, I think. And there was a free kick from about 45 yards for United. The cross was floated in, and Svilar comes and claims, grabs the ball, and then took 2 steps backwards and carried the ball over the line.
Oh, God. I thought you were telling me about this amazing thing.
So he's proper Tottenham. He's proper Spurs. I believe he's actually obviously gone on to create quite a good career for himself. Before Roma, where was he? I can't remember.
Benfica.
Was it Benfica?
Yeah.
So I think he's done quite well. I think Mourinho's been a big fan of his. Actually, Mourinho was manager of United in that game, and then he's went on to sign him. A lot of people think he's got a clear look. He's 26 now. So that's what 10 years ago I'm talking about when it was. I think that's true. I think it was like 2018. So yeah, closer. Maybe he's a bit younger, a bit older. Yeah, I think Mourinho really likes him. Is he a good player with the ball at his feet? That kind of stuff. I don't know, but I think he's pretty good. He's a pretty good keeper. A lot of people rate him quite highly.
So the report comes from a Roma publication called Roma Live, and they say Roma's Mile Svilar is admired by many Premier League sides. Spurs, Chelsea, and Manchester United have all scouted the Serbian at various points this season, and his stock continues to rise. Tottenham have been impressed by the 26-year-old and are now pursuing the former Benfica keeper. Roma would only consider selling him if there's an excessive offer on the table. It's asserted that it will take an offer of around 70 million euros to prize the Serbian away from the Stadio Olimpico, which would make him the 3rd most expensive keeper in the history, behind Kepa, Arrizabalaga and Alisson Becker.
There's a lot of people in the comments who seem to rate him highly.
Yeah, so, I mean, I read a report aside to this saying he's like the top performing goalkeeper in Serie A this season.
That's good.
I've never seen him play, so it's hard to make an actual judgment, but those are what the reports are saying.
Yeah, it's tough for me to say if he's better than Vicario. Obviously, Vicario was the 2nd top performing keeper in Serie A when we signed him, behind Onana, I think it was. Then Onana came in, was a flop, and Vicario was seen as somewhat a brilliant signing. Now people are wandering him out, but yeah, I think I'd look into him. I think we definitely probably need an upgrade on Vicario, but I don't know if Svilar's that guy, but I think he's pretty good.
Well, another one for the scouting department to see. But if we do signing him, and that is what they're going for, a record goalkeeping fee of like 60 million euros. It's just crazy talk, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a lot of money.
It's a crazy amount of money.
Yeah.
But look, that is the Tottenham update for today. Let me know in the comment section below any thoughts regarding all the news stories that we have brought to you today. Would you like to see Mile Svilar at Tottenham Hotspur? Do you think Adam Wharton, is there any sort of realistic possibility that Spurs can sign him?
Well, at least it wasn't for Jahez. Some people saying, it's definitely for Jahez. I was saying that report, but it wasn't. So maybe there's a slight chance. Maybe there's a slight chance.
And Hayden Hackney, people, would you be happy with Hayden Hackney as the guy? So a lot of questions. I need your answers.